teams overall really strong, especially in Division 4. So we're in for an exciting match.
Yeah, 100% spicy. And the familiarity of these two teams are going both to our hearts right now. You mentioned UGA Red barely making it in the season. I saw their Game 7 against Farmingdale Esports and how it went into that crazy Clan Blitz overtime here. Meanwhile, on Kraken Cove side, I'm a little bit familiar with actually some of these members. My guy RDB, I met them at a LAN over here in Massachusetts.
Oh,
So I do know a little bit about them. They are a slosher extraordinaire and supposedly their star player, right, for Kraken Cove side, and I'm curious to see how the RDB is going to be able to not only show up here, but work with their team, right? After all, Splatoon is a 4v4 based game here. You can't just make it here alone, so I'm curious to see how Kraken Cove is going to be able to stack up against UGA Red, who has shown time and time again they are willing to go through the full mile and the effort here. So let's get this started here, Spicy. We're ticking down this timer. We're going to be starting out on Rainmaker, Undertow, Spillway. After this rework here, the uninkable is now inkable. Everything is on the play 100% for that Rainmaker to just run away with it.
yeah, and I think that makes it exciting. You know, this is a tried and true mode in Splatoon 3, but now we get a chance to look at what we have. It's comp wise, you really see like a lot of mix of like older stuff and newer stuff as well. For any things that come into mind, I'm looking at that Carbon Roar Deco from Ember from UGA, as well as seeing Machine still coming back, and then not also from Kraken Cove. As we see this opening fight in mid, blue pop meaning Kraken Cove. It does have the advantage here, but everyone is just fighting it off in neutral, just trying to see what we're gonna have. RDB with that Machine, just trying to find a pick there, just trying to add some extra paint support. But really, no one is going down so far as spoke too soon. As a shot from UGA does go down here. No one picking up the Rainmaker just yet, just trying to jostle for position as Kraken Cove looks to make the first move here, pushing it off towards the left side. Gotta see if they can break through this first checkpoint.
Yeah, Kellogg's here, a nutritious breakfast cereal, if I might add, is going to be able to dunk that Rainmaker. Already taking out here. RDB is going to throw that Booyah Bomb here, put a lot of pressure, but no! Grace on the Zuka here is going to be able to stop that, but it's not going to stop the other members of Kraken Cove from going in here, popping a Zuka of their own. Two are down on the side of UGA Red here, and it looks like Kraken Cove is going to be able to push that Rainmaker forward, look for these opportunities. That Inkable is now going to be running through all the way to that Rainmaker, go all the way down to 9 points, Spicy.
And you see the difference of that rework in action right there. That inkable now, that land being inkable now just makes it so much easier to push through, taking all the way to the 9. We're only 80 seconds into this match so far, and there's already a huge lead for Kraken Cove. Just trying to see what we're gonna have from UGA. Just trying to have the Rainmaker of their own. Gonna try and push it themselves now over on like what looks to be the left side. Just trying to find some extra picks, find some extra positioning here. Gonna have to sneak up there and work their way around. Love the use of the movement, and now gonna try and push over towards that left check, but not gonna be able to do so, and not even getting any points off the board so far.
Yeah, definitely. It is a bit of a good position for the Rainmaker right now if you are able to pop it and move it out here, but Kraken Cove smells that from a mile away here. They are trained in the art of protecting that Rainmaker, getting that pop. Mash and RDB have been doing such a good job watching this Rainmaker, looking for opportunities here, and hey, we get to see another aspect of the rework here. We have this little cubby area where Mash is slowly using that as cover to regenerate and charge up this Nautilus here to be able to move up here. It just seems like HT is going to look for that pop right there and get it as they try to run right side, but they unfortunately get shut down by a suction bomb.
That's a huge shut down right there by that suction bomb, and it really does an absolute number.
Yeah, definitely. It's just been...
Kraken Cove not going to be able to make their way with the this point.
Yeah, I think we're having a little bit of technical problems here, Spicy. Yeah, I think I think you were talking there for a bit, and I couldn't quite hear you there. So, but hey, we got to power through this, unfortunately, right? Slowly working through these Discord problems here as these teams try to work through the problems of getting this Rainmaker down here. Kraken Cove is still very dominant here as UGA Red is still unable to do anything here, but they are able to get some pretty good mileage here as RDB tries to go up, but the Zuka from Ember is going to come through and be able to knock through a little bit of mid here.
And just looking at what we have right now, with about 80 seconds to go, and what a big pick right there. That is huge here if you're UGA, just trying to get anything going now. You see the cooler is online. They have the Rainmaker once again, but they still have to break through that first check. And getting wiped out is critically terrible for them here as Kraken Cove is sitting pretty here with the last minute of this game here. You notice that there's a Booyah Bomb online. Notice that the Rainmaker is in their own territory. They don't even have to do something with a massive push here. They can just hold and on a defensive end here and just making things difficult for Georgia to just make their way here. But 2 down now from the side of Kraken Cove with 45 seconds to go. The Zuka also online from the shot from Georgia here. Gotta see what they're gonna be able to have. 40 seconds, still plenty of time here, but you still gotta break through that first check. Cooler online is gonna make things helpful. Zuka also firing off towards mid. Gotta try and find some extra picks. No one is going down though. And this is going to make this post very difficult as they get flanked, it looks like. And that's a 2-down situation on both sides. But these trades are looking very good for Kraken Cove here as the Booyah Bomb also makes this push very difficult for Georgia.
Oh, 100%. Georgia is on the back foot right now. They need something to happen here, but Ember is going to be able to clean up 2 members here, pick up that Rainmaker, but unfortunately go down to see Chris Suction Bomb, I swear, is the Suction Bomb from the heavens coming all the way down to just cop off at the right time when they pick up that Rainmaker, and that's going to give Kraken Cove the first game. Very dominant showing from them, Spicy.
Yeah, dominant indeed. You saw basically an absolute clinic in terms of being able to just make the most out of like those initial pushes. You saw them after a long standoff in neutral within those first 30 seconds. They were able to finally get the Rainmaker, push over towards left side, break check, and then you saw that the new rework coming into play, as we mentioned again, that was a huge push for them, taking it all the way to the 9. And honestly, sometimes the best defense is just a really strong offense. And at that point, Kraken Cove just had to play defense because they had such a great push. Georgia was on the back foot the entire time, and it was while still a very capable team, it was a very much a long way for them to make it, and they weren't able to do so at the end.
Yeah, definitely, Spicy. It was a really big uphill battle from UGA side. I felt like that initial burst of momentum from Kraken Cove side just kind of let UGA just slip from just how explosive that start was, right? And UGA was instead just looking for an opportunity and just put on the back foot and just consistently feeling that pressure of like, okay, we need to beat 9 points on Rainmaker. We got time to do it, but we really do need to like hurry up here, and that kind of just caused a lot of times where they picked up the Rainmaker just fumble, unfortunately, as Kraken Cove was just able to sit back, play very patiently. You saw RDB using the machine to its fullest, just throwing those fizzy bombs, using a Booyah Bomb, right, just to hold all that space there and just slosh away at that Rainmaker, as well as the various other members like Seascrifts using that Suction Bomb just to get it at the very opportune times. So UGA was not able to play their main game that they wanted to play there.
Yeah, and I think that kind of bomb presence really helped Kraken Cove. And like the bomb presence also goes into paint control, and paint control is going to be absolutely massive as we go into Clan Blitz on Museum del Foncino, another tried and true mode combination in this game. And you know, both these teams are very capable of playing it, probably have a ton of experience here. So I'm really interested to see, especially comp wise, what adjustments are we going to have from UGA, and for playstyle wise, maybe from Kraken Cove, what are we going to be seeing here as we get a chance to look at these opening comps? I think relatively similar as what we saw from Georgia, maybe with just a T-Tech switch and I think the exact same comp on the end of Kraken Cove.
Yeah, Kraken Cove, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it is what I'm seeing from them right here. But hey, I'm interested to see the Tri-Stringer of all things, you know, being able to lock down a lot of space with these AoE chip bottles, as well as using the Sprinkler as well. It's going to be the Inkline variant, so it is Chump Day, Spicy. It is time to clop all those Super Chumps. Look for an opportunity to go in here, but unfortunately, UGA already has 1 down here, but they're going to trade it back here.
Yeah, and you see just the importance of paint, really, and I guess that's what we're seeing from Georgia, having the Sprinkler and having the Super Chump. Just to offer that extra paint is going to be helpful for them to control mid and eventually work their way to get that clam economy up. The clam economy is so far in favor of Kraken Cove, as I did have the power clam up ready, with 2 power clams up ready now. Gonna see if they're going to be able to make their way or push here, but it doesn't look like they're going to have an easy time. A lot of Georgia's defense has worked their way around up into mid, is forcing Seacrest and the rest of Kraken Cove to really just have a hard time to get back. Now trying to weave their way in, focusing on Luxatone also, who switched from B-Shot to now the T-Tech, offering that suction bomb, as well as having Tri-Strikes to help with as a bit of an entry tool here. Really interested to see it. A bit of a standoff at this point. A lot of clams on both sides, and just seeing some picks coming off, and to see Ember getting one before getting taken down. 2 down from the side of Georgia here, and with one. And for the Kraken Cove, I'm wondering if this is a potential chance for them to make that first score.
Yeah, 100% here. You know, Kraken Cove has been struggling a lot on the defense here. You mentioned paint control is the name of the game right now, and just with all this range and pressure coming out from UGA side, they are certainly getting these clams. They are getting these specials. They are getting out of these sticky situations time and time again here, slowly biding it, waiting for that suction bomb beautifully off from Grace here. Got these chumps come out here, being able to run through and be able to do it, but not going to be able to score.
That's a heartbreaker, not being able to score there. You saw the beautiful entry tool that the Super Chumps provide. It's able to get that going though, and instead Kraken Cove has 2 power clams ready, looking to potentially make a push of their own, but this is a great defensive stand from Georgia at this point in neutral. In mid, it's really hard for either team to break through. 2 go down from the side of Kraken Cove, including the person with a power clam, making that. Now the shot has to be able to take it up instead. We are halfway through this game. No one has making a move towards the basket, really, and a bit of a standoff once again in neutral, and this is what you love to see. A very even matchup in Clam Blitz, where it is down to the wire. It's really gritty and just trying to find their way. Both these teams weaving very carefully in and out in neutral, just trying to figure out a way to get in. You see they're having those coolers, being given them a chance to maybe work their way in, just trying to find Mash, have a chance to potentially get something going, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to just yet here. It's so close at this point of some players going down on both sides as well. I don't think anyone has moved towards the basket. As we look over with Kraken Cove, they're all just stuck in their own base, just trying to find something. Georgia finding with an Ember with a huge pick on the Zuka. The strikes from Luxatone are going to be going in as well. Maybe a potential chance for them to move forward here and get something big. As another pick from Ember is going to make it for a great potential opening here.
Yeah, definitely. Embers has been popping off on that Carbon Deco right there. I believe even in one of the previous keys to victory from UGA Red, I saw setting up Embers was one of their key to victories there, and just they were able to go in, use the Zuka, right? Use the burst bombs, and especially the main weapon just to shut down. And right now, it's only 1 minute left here on the clock, and no team has been able to get anywhere near that clam basket and score any points. This is the Clam's curse as its finest here, Spicy.
Yeah, and that's my favorite part about commentating Clam Blitz. These moments right here, where you have both these teams in a standstill, just trying to get their way towards the basket. Game just towards the basket has been incredibly difficult. It's 3 down go now for Kraken Cove, and it's a huge moment for UGA, but they don't have enough clams to make a push of their own here either. This is insane. We're down to the last 30 seconds. Well, Power Clam is now being held by Luxatone on that T-Tech. Potentially the chance here, all they need is 1 basket score to potentially just win the game and equalize the set. The strikes are on. If they're going to be able to make a move, they're going to be able to do so soon, because the strikes are coming out, and it's down to a 3-down situation here. This is devastating for UGA.
Oh, wait, here comes RDB guy grabbing these grates here, looking through. Oh my god! Spicy! Oh. I thought for sure UGA Red managed to get it there, but no, RDB, being the little rat that he is going to be able to sneak up onto the spinner where all the UGA Red members are just looking through mid, looking for a way to break through, not paying attention to their own basket, and just have that clam basket score through there, Spicy. Unbelievable.
That's insane. No one expected to see that. RDB coming around just sneakily over there. All the attention really was on Georgia, because we thought Georgia was going to be able to score in those last 20 seconds. And then to steal that away, that's insane from Kraken Cove. Kraken Cove going up 2-0 in the set now. Definitely still a lot of Splatoon to be played. The best thing about playoffs is that it's a best of 9 instead of best of 7, so first of 5 wins. So if we're Georgia, there's still some breathing room here. You have some time to make those adjustments. And if that last game proved anything, it shows that they can definitely still stay in it here. Both these teams were going to be going into next map mode combination. I think that would be Splat Zones Robo Ramen. This is going to be really fun here, especially after seeing this in like earlier playoff matches where the zone especially can like flip in an instant and just how fast some of these teams are playing and like how chaotic neutral is going to be. I'm incredibly excited to see what we have going into game 3.
100% spicy. And you saw how good UGA Red was at caping space and pain control for majority of that Clan Blitz game here. And I'm curious to see how well that'll translate over onto Zone's Ramen. As you said before, just like that zone is able to flip quickly at an instant there. But hey, UGA Red has these options here with the Tri-Stringer. They have a T-Tech, they have an NZAP, they have some really good pain, and then they also have the Sharking Wonder and Ember looking for those picks, slowly going to come up on you if you are not painting up there properly. So I'm curious to see how UGA's red comp is going to stack against Kraken Cove's standard machine, not NZAP and shot comp, and how they're going to be able to break through that.
Yeah, because we haven't seen any comp changes from the end of the Kraken Cove, and really not exactly a big need for it either, because like as you mentioned, it's been working, and it's been proved to see why it's been working as from the regular season and now going here. UGA, we've seen a couple weapon changes, namely from Luxatone, going from like V-Shot to T-Tech. So there's probably some other options we could be seeing here, especially in Splat Zones where paint control is really everything, but really that's the entire game, where paint control just matters so much. Gonna have a chance to go in now. Going into game 3, Kraken Cove has a chance to go up into a dominant 3-0 lead. UGA Red trying to get on the board and start making this comeback of their own as we get a look at these opening comps.
Wait a minute. I think Ember is going to be on that Order Roller replica. So we're going to have Bubble and Curling Bomb instead here. So we're going to be trading that Zuka out. And it seems like UGA is ready to adjust to whatever is necessary to be able to hopefully counter what Kraken Cove has been doing here, But it seems like the zone's already going to be flipped in their favor, and they're not going to be able to get anywhere near this zone here as Kraken Cove paints up, has these specials ready, throwing these bombs here, but no, all these strikes here, and the Chomp coming down is going to paint this zone beautifully bright yellow and push up beautifully as 3 members of Kraken Cove go down.
Yeah, and this is where the comp of UGA Red really starts to shine here. They're going to be able to start making their way up. Really start pressuring. I'm like, if you're Luxatone, just trying to poke away with some splat bombs and then having the chance to just charge up their special tactical as well option as well from their Tri-Nouveau. Kraken Cove gonna try and figure out the way in. Seacrest now having the Zuka as well as the cooler option, so Kraken Cove has a chance to make their way back in. Strikes are coming back out from the side of VJ, and they are kind of snowballing in terms of this zone coverage and are already past the 40 and now working their way through the 30s here. A lot of players from Kraken Cove just struggling to get by. They're finally able to get a pick onto the bucket, but I'm not sure how much longer they're gonna be able to get. They got multiple picks coming off so far. UGA Red still holding strong, still losing control briefly, but 3-down situation. UGA Red to a wipe. What has happened with this comp change here? As UGA Red is going to be able to get on the board and take a game, make this a 1-2 set so far.
Oh my goodness, Spicy. My breath just held so tight during the last final moments. You saw Kraken Cove had multiple specials. They clicked them all to get them back into that choke area, to get back into the zone there. And it just seems not to be enough there because we saw Embers run in with that curling bomb on the roller, shutting down the Nut, shutting down various other members there. And just you saw Kraken Cove was unable to just get back into that zone, going from basically 100 to 0, I think, and knocking out very cleanly and very convincingly on game 3. Perhaps the comp changes from UGA Red have been finally set in stone, and they found a way to be able to counter what Kraken Cove's throwing at it. Now the question becomes, Spicy, will Kraken Cove change their comp now?
See, that's exactly what I was wondering, because like They know that there's a lot of options still with their comp here. You still have Neo Machine if they want to go there, because like just not too far from the red vanilla. If you want to go Bazooka instead of Booyah Bomb, especially going on to Tower Control Manta Maria, if you want that extra long range coverage, you could opt for that here. GG Booyah Bomb is also still very good, honestly. You know the knot is still there, and I'm wondering if they're looking to like maybe instead of like a comp change, it's gotta be more so a playstyle change here. Just trying to work some stuff out. As we might be seeing, I think a substitution. I think now on the side of UGA because I think Luxatone has swapped out in favor of I don't know who is coming in then, which is going to make things really interesting here
Yeah,
from this
definitely.
night, especially because Georgia was. I'm surprised that Georgia of all of the teams is gonna be the one swapping players in and out, considering they just won that last match, but. I think
Yeah.
it's Crunchy coming in
Yeah,
now,
yeah, it's
so
crunchy,
maybe
yeah.
they're a specialist here. It's gonna be potentially really interesting to see how this shapes out.
Yeah, definitely. Is going to come in here and perhaps going to be swapping up and shaking up this set here, with being that substitution here. Because, you know, when you bring in a sub player, right, this can, like, drastically shift the dynamic here. Because, you know, I can imagine that Discord VC, right, on UGA set, they're talking about, hey, let's bring in Crunchy. Crunchy's going to bring in blank weapon here, do X, Y, and Z, and they're just going to allow us to move a lot easier and play the objective here. Especially for a map mode like Manta Maria, I'm thinking a Splatling might be coming out, actually, because this is a Splatling heaven if I've ever seen one, or Splatling retirement home, whichever your analogy you want to give you, Spicy.
Oh, true. Yeah, honestly, I think both those strategies were great here, and I'm thinking, yeah, I would be interested to see if we have a Spotling come out from Georgia here, considering that there is a Spotling from the end of Kraken Cove with the Nautilus. I'm wondering if we're gonna have like that little duel going on between two Spotlings. Obviously, baby things are gonna be gonna be some other interesting options here, but does look like we are gonna be taking a bit from Crunchy and RDB to see what we're going to be what's gonna be shaking up here. And this is a pretty big game, especially game 4. Georgia could equalize the set right here. Meanwhile, Kraken Cove can go up 3-1 and get marched their way closer into semifinals as well. So this is going to be a pretty critical game here just to see what we have as we finally get a chance to go into game 4.
Yeah, definitely. Game 4 right there. These teams are biding their time, cooking up something here as Crunchy is going to be coming out here. We're going to see these comps right here, Spicy, and Crunchy is going to be on the 52 Gallival. Okay, you know what? 52 reasons to bring Crunchy to a game of Tower Control Manta Maria. It is a strong, strong main weapon here, and given how the nature of Manta Maria, right, and how these corridors can be really hard to push through, both the wall and the killer whale are going to be invaluable here. So let's see how this comp's able to go here, as already Kraken Cove has RDB here, flanking already on this bunker here, taking out one here, looking for another one, but Ember is going to be able to trade them back, but RDB's damage has been done here. But look at this, Spicy. The tower is already in the favor of Kraken Cove. That distraction and those picks was so valuable, and then this momentum is going to swing out of control towards Kraken Cove over here.
Yeah, and then this map mode especially, the momentum is everything here, especially as you see Kraken Cove putting UGA in another multiple down situation, 2 down now, and this time is having some specials online too. The Booyah Bomb and the Zuka online from Kraken Cove is going to put a lot of long-range pressure here, especially considering this comp doesn't exactly have that normally. But now we're watching HT just trying to stay alive here, just trying to figure something out, but that Booyah Bomb's going to add some extra coverage, and Kraken Cove is marching this tower through already past that second checkpoint, keeping their momentum going all the way past it. Looks to be maybe even past the 30 at this point soon, moving it all really quickly down the line, and this is looking like an absolute steamroll so far until they finally lose control of the tower.
Yeah, definitely. This is reminding me a little bit of that Rainmaker game where Kraken Cove has some really strong explosive pushes, right? And they just definitely are able to take advantage of that and just score really far here. Getting through that second checkpoint over on Manta Maria is no easy feat, and Kraken Cove made it look like it was a walk in the park here. But hey, the Killer Whale is going to pop out here. Ember is going to be looking through here, going to be going up into this bunker area, ready to splash down and rain the roller flicks here, and get multiple members down here. It's also going to be Crunchy riding that tower as well here, living through it all here and looking to clear it, but it's not going to be enough as multiple members go down here, and it's just Grace here going to opt to back out here and give up that checkpoint here to give these jumps for their teammate Spicy.
that was just insane sequence of events that we just saw, honestly, now. And now multiple members down once again on both sides. It's absolute bedlam here in mid as we are approaching the halfway point of this game. UGA Red finally has control of the tower once again, trying to continue that push that you saw earlier. That Booyah Bomb now coming out from RDB. RDB does get splattered in the process, though. And now the tower is still going there in the 3-down situation for Kraken Cove. UGA is looking to march their way through, make this comeback potentially possible. And you see that the bubble would make things potentially incredibly interesting.
Oh my goodness.
Here, as a lot of the members of Kraken Cove have spawned back in. The second checkpoint is broken now, and it's not a big lead difference as Georgia takes the lead here in Game 4.
Oh my goodness, Spicy. That's a 1, 2, 3.
Oh my God.
That they managed to knock it all the way out there. That was incredible momentum that UGA was managed to be able to snowball that to take game number 4 right under Kraken Cove's noses. I thought for sure we were going to have a repeat of the Rainmaker game where it's going to be UGA constantly struggling to break through, because we saw Kraken Cove typically have a really solid defense on multiple game occasions, right? And that was just incredible. Incredible is understatement. I don't know what else I can say about that, Spicy. These teams are bringing their A games right here, and I think Crunchy was the difference there that allowed them to be able to perform something like that.
Yeah, I really like the switch now to Crunchy for Georgia there. Having that 52 really able to add a ton of like slaying power, honestly, with the short range. And really that 2-tap is going to make things very interesting here. And you saw how well that worked out, especially really. It works very well playing off of like Ember and just having a ton of slaying power. And you saw what happened there. A lot of multiple downs on Kraken Cove, and then even some wipeout situations that you saw at the end of that game as well. And now if they're able to keep up this momentum, it's going to look very interesting here, as now this tie 2-2 apiece, gonna be in basically a best of 5 now. This thing's gonna be really interesting going into Rainmaker Humpback Pump Track. And we saw what happened in game 1 where Kraken Cove just kind of ran away with a early lead and just able to play defense here. I wonder if they're going to look to try and play the same thing here. But right now, this Georgia team feels very different from the one we saw in that game 1.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to be going into Rainmaker Humpback of all game modes here. And, you know, if there's a Rainmaker map that has been iconic throughout the Splatoon series, I'm going to have to give it to Humpback here. It is one of the most iconic Rainmaker map modes for a reason. You know, breaking through that checkpoint and strategically having your team being able to push through base a whole horde of enemies to get through to that final checkpoint is going to be very difficult for anyone here. But hey, the beauty of Humpback, in my opinion, is just the map geometry and how a lot of weapons are able to flourish here, right? Especially sloshers, sloshing machines, regular vanilla slosher, you name it, it is fantastic here. So I'm curious to see how RDB is going to be able to take advantage of this map geometry and see maybe if the N-Tri comes back as well from UGA Red side, because those are both 2 prime weapons for the picking on this map mode combination, Spicy.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see a lot of usage of buckets really in this entire map mode now. Instead, we're not going to see that come out from the side of UGA, and from the side of Kraken Cove, it's basically what we've been seeing the entire time so far. Now, the big thing here is that Ember is back on Carbon Deco now, so the Zuka is back in play. Also opting for the burst bomb and just having a lot more aggression potentially able to have here. And I think that's going to be really useful here on Rainmaker, where this opening fighting section, this first team fight, it really does mean a lot. You're just watching what happens in mid here as the paint control is going in favor of Kraken Cove, and they're going to be able to start making their way up here. The Booyah Bomb is going to be able to march up here. Mash is going to be able to try and just push up as well with that. No, the Rainmaker is in favor of Kraken Cove. Never mind, they are going to lose it at the 81 here as they go 2 down. UGA definitely in a situation where they're going to be able to potentially make a push of their own here, popping that bubble. They're going to look to try and make a push of their own as they have the cooler buffs already available now too.
Yeah, definitely. You saw how quickly UGA was able to regroup after that initial loss in mid here. And right now, HT is going to be taking this Rainmaker, slowly picking up these parts here. But no, it's going to be Seacrypts coming in with the Zuko from way downtown to be able to knock that Rainmaker out, take multiple members of UGA down here. And it looks like Kellogg's is going to opt for this left checkpoint right here just to be able to clear it here. You know, hey, this left checkpoint area is not often used, but hey, it's going to fast breakaway and allow UGA to be a little bit on the back foot here as they look for an opportunity to just keep going in here. As that Booyah Bomb comes out here, and RDB is looking for a way to pull this Rainmaker more forward here, already getting 4 points. 32 is on the board here. That's going to be very difficult to break through, Spicy.
Yeah, and now this is an insane lead so far for the end of Kraken Cove here, just being able to have it already at the 32 now. Rainmaker does reset back, which is very helpful for Georgia here, trying to just get their way back in. There's still a lot of Splatoon left to be played here at the 3-minute mark now. The bubble is popped in blue once again. Kraken Cove really controlling a lot of this mid-game. A lot of the neutral and a lot of the map has been in favor of blue here. So that's been really helpful for them, just be able to control on the defense. And now, and I think really for them, that's all they're going to really need to do here, unless they want to push up. Having that checkpoint is going to make things really helpful. Well, because Georgia still has to break through that first checkpoint. Just going to have to see what they're going to be able to do here as you finally have a chance to see what kind of push we're going to have on either end. Just seeing what the last half of this game is just going to unfold here.
Yeah, definitely there. UGA just unfortunately just did not have a response to Kraken Cove's explosive pushes, right? It is really unfortunate that this man it just seems like UGA had a minute to recover there and ultimately faltered on the defense there as Mash J on the Nautilus there managed to run up and get 2 members down. Embers was only able to trade out that Nautilus and immediately got picked off there. It's only so much you can do with a roller having all that much paint right there, but that's going to be game number 5 for Kraken Cove right now. Oh my goodness, this is becoming a nail biter because it's like a pendulum, Spicy. It swings one way to UGA, it swings one way to Kraken Cove, but at the end of the day, it can be very difficult to tell who's going to be able to pull out on top at the end of this day.
And I think that's the beauty of this game in general, where it's really momentum-based. The pendulum is really the best analogy you could put here, where it does swing one way and then swings back another way. And now we saw what happened earlier, where Kraken Cove got off to 2 games, and then Georgia responded 2 games of their own. Now going back into Clamwood's Barnacle and Dial, we saw what happened on Clamwood's Museum, the absolute nail biter of a game up until the very end, where Kraken Cove steals it at the end, where we all thought Georgia was going to score. Never mind, Kraken Cove just slips on by, able to really make the most out of that too. So I've got to be excited to see if we're going to be seeing anything close to as much of a nail biter as we saw earlier in the set.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, and we're going to be going on to, I think, one of the hardest map modes to break out of disadvantage. It's going to be Barnacle and Dime Clam Blitz here. So it's going to be coming down a lot to who can hold down that advantage state even more so right now, because getting out of spawn once the enemy team has control is going to be no easy feat once at all here. But hey, it's going to be another sub out as well from UGA side, as they're going to be bringing out Luxatone. I'm not too familiar with their weapon pool here, but hey, perhaps they see something to shake up the status quo here to counter what Kraken Cove has been doing. Kraken Cove, you know, they've been sticking very tried and true to their comp here, while UGA is playing the mind games scenario of trying to figure out what's this weakness of the comp here, and can we break through using that theory that we're coming up with right now, because there are multiple games you can have a little bit of leeway. Even if something doesn't work out, you can at least learn something from the end of that set and hopefully adapt accordingly to be able to have your comp have a significant advantage over the other one here, Spicy.
Yeah, and I think that kind of adaptations are going to be really important here. I know with bringing Luxatone back in, Luxatone was subbed out for Crunchy. Luxatone having the shot, the V shot, and the T-Tech. Really wondering if that's going to be what they want here on Clam Blitz. You saw it came really close at the end of game 2. Wondering what they bring back. Instead, they're opting for N-Try and try and have that core option instead with that bucket. And I think that a couple of weapon swaps, right? Grace is now on the shot, Luxatone being on the bucket, and that's the same comp from Kraken Cove, but it's a bit of a interesting switch up. So you're also seeing Ember now with the Order Roller just being able to have that bubble as well. The curling bomb potentially giving some entry options for them if they want to start making a push later on in the game.
Yeah, definitely. It's a very interesting comp shift from how do I say it, UGA side, you know, having a little bit more AoE damage here, but no, Kraken Cove is going to respond already with a push of their own, who are taking multiple members of oh my goodness, okay, HT, it already has a response to all that is happening here, and is looking for an opportunity to just play some defense, keep their plat control here, and now we have Ember on this plat here, ready to take out any poor Kraken Cove solo that quickly pushes up a little bit too quickly, but no, RDB already sees it, snuffing them out with the machine already here. Spicy, this is already insane as 2 members of Kraken Cove fall here, and Embers is looking to move up.
Yeah, Embers is trying to move up. This would be really big for George if they're going to be able to make something happen here. They have an advantage in terms of clams as well. 12-1 so far. Going to look at potential to make something happen here. Trumps go out. Bubble goes out. A lot of specials in play here. And now Grace has that power clam ready. Gonna see if they're able to score here. I think it does happen now. They have the shot. Make it in now. Just having some extra clams coming in.
Oh my goodness, Spicy. That
is going to be able to keep this push going, especially now. With having that advantage here, gonna see what they're going to be able to do.
Yeah, definitely. And you can see how UGA has been able to slowly be the one to just break up the what was it? The defense that is Kraken Cove. It's been so strong so lately, but they've been finding ways to be able to push through, whether it be popping multiple specials at the same time. We saw Chumps and Bubble come out at the same time while that Clamp was scored right here. But hey, it just seems like it's a bloodbath in mid here. Neither team is able to break through it.
Absolute carnage happening in mid right now. You just see a ton of stuff, just everyone dying on both sides. A really great positioning for UGA. Now being able to have that power clamp, having the Zuka online as well, having that firing it off, and now multiple down once again. They're going to try and find their way into the basket area as well. So they've seen just a lot of great support. Now Grace going to be able to get to the basket once again, break open the barrier, going to give Georgia a chance to respond more and more. Just keeping these Chumps up as well. Not going to be able to keep the basket open for much longer, it seems, but they're just going to be able to keep adding some extra points, add a bit of a cushion to their lead. I'm wondering if now, with about 2 minutes to go, is this going to be enough here, especially because you know how Kraken Cove has been able to just steal away games at the last few moments, and they've been really dominant in certain points of this aspect as well. Now it's gonna come down to the really last like 100 seconds or so. Just gonna see what happens here. Kraken Cove having that rain, having that cooler available as well, just trying to make their way over into mid, just trying to find some clams as well. Have potential gonna be able to pass up things. That's a huge pick. Oh my god.
Unbelievable, I say. Unbelievable. Just that pick with the Chumps that are isolating that ends up all alone to be surrounded by all those Chumps there is going to pick them out, snuff them out right here. But right now, it is do or die for Kraken Cove. They need to find a way to get to this platform here. They're putting a lot of pressure through bombs. Multiple members are trying to rush up here as 3 go down from Kraken Cove, and the defense is successful on the side of UGA.
That's brilliant defense. You need that kind of defense to stand here with 1 minute to go. Georgia defense is on point right now. They have the power clam as well. They want to keep extending their lead, having the Chumps almost available as well here. Now going to be able to have that entry point offer some extra defense or offense, depending on how they opt to use it here. Popping those Chumps over into mid. Now the bubble is also up here. Really, I'm not taking multiple members down. This is looking really good. The Zuka shots are flying from Grace, and this is looking very well. As 3 down now, Georgia's gonna look to put a dagger into this game, potentially breaking the barrier once again, and also ending another power clam with less than 25 seconds to go. Things are looking really good for Georgia right now, as the basket might be closing on their end here.
Yeah, definitely. It is really tricky for, how do I say it, Kraken Cove to be able to recover from this. Being at such a big deficit, all this paint control is not in their favor. While RDB is able to take out HT, it's going to be Luxatone on this end try, cleaning up with this end try, and I think Ember's got a double there as this gong already is formed. They're breaking through here. Game 6 for UGA Red. Unbelievable, I say. Unbelievable, Spicy.
That was insane. What I'm starting to love from the side of Georgia now, UGA Red, the substitutions they're making, the depth of their roster is really starting to shine here, where they're having a chance to like, okay, we Crunchy is good in this map mode combination. Okay, great. We'll get back into the set this way. Georgia now also having Luxatone to come back in for Clan Blitz. This has been great, honestly. You're seeing how those substitutions are really making their mark here, like within these sets. And now we're tied 3 apiece in quarterfinals of D4. It's basically a best of 3 now, and this is going to be shaping up for one amazing end to this set.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be very difficult, right, to be able to, for these teams to be able to recover from this, because I feel like Kraken Cove, when they are in control, they are definitely in control, and it's being very difficult for both these teams, right, to be able to get the advantage they want here. It's a matter of just how explosive these pushes are and how consistently they are going to be able to stay, right? We have UGA Red consistently pushing through and getting those clams into that basket there, while Kraken Cove struggled to get any control of that platform right there. We saw the Booyah bombs, we saw so many bombs tossed on that plat, yet it just always seemed like UGA Red had a response for that. Well, they've always managed to break through by clicking multiple specials and just having the right members at the right place at the right time there, Spicy.
Yeah, right members at the right place, the right time. That's really matters so much here. And I'm thinking like for both sides, this is going to be a lot of that. We're gonna see a lot of that, honestly, and I think that's gonna be exciting here. Going into these last 3 games, we're going back to splat zones, this time on ship shape cargo. You saw what happened on Robo Ramen, where splat zones when Georgia, once they got control of that zone, they never looked back. And on ship shape, where you can kind of get a similar aspect here, where you can just lock out over once you take control. I think really we might see a chance for getting that snowball once again. And I think really whichever team is going to be able to control zone, win that first fight, and then really just get that early advantage by like the end of that first minute. And that might really determine who wins this game. And once again, when the set is tied like this, each game matters so much here. We're down to the last 3 games at most, and I think this is going to be incredibly exciting. And I'm so hyped to see what we're going to be having to end this set.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very excited, right? Just how these two teams are shifting out slowly and balancing, like, how do I say it? Their interactions, right? Because it's not only just the end result, Spicy, it's the interactions that happen in the middle of the game that led to that result right there. And UGA Red and Kraken Cove have been doing both a fantastic job of having both good and negative interactions that just lead to pushes and pulls that lead to that final result at the end there.
Yeah, I like that what you mentioned there, like the little micro interactions, those like little pushes and pulls, as you said. And I think that's really gonna matter so much here. Just having like those little interactions, seeing how like before you get to end results, each little fight, each little thing of like those special usages, those just painting in mid is going to be incredibly important here. Both these teams will finally lock in their weapon comps, and now we're in for the last 3 games potentially of this set here. I'm super excited to see what we're going to be having. Kind of take a look at these opening comps here. Georgia's been switching it up a lot lately, just seeing what they have, going back to now a double shot comp as well. Gonna be really interesting to see as we see Kraken Cove runs back with what they've been doing this entire set so far.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really interested to see how these double shot combo is going to put enough paint down to be able to hold that zone, potentially. But hey, the 2 shots are facing down a Machine and a Nahus, 2 very good weapons that just holding them back right now. And we already see Embers looking to try and go in as well here, but unfortunately going to get picked off right now. Having multiple members go down here on a ship shape is not a good sign here, but that suction bomb unfortunately is going to pick them off right here, as multiple members of UGA are going to be able to fall here, and it's just going to be Grace stuck here on this splatter shot, looking for a way to get their team back in here with these super jumps. All right, we are back here. We were having some tech production problems there, but just to give a quick TLDR, Kraken Cove managed to go 100-0 all the way on that Splat Zones game right there and allowed, how do I say it, no room for UGA Red to be able to get through there, Spicy.
I think I caught the last of that. I think my net has died, and in the moment of my net dying, everything just dipped because Kraken Cove just took that like 100-0. I think I just saw as well. I think I caught the end of that. And that's insane. I remember saying beforehand, like whoever gets that early lead might be able to just run away with it at that point, and that really is just what happened there. And I think if that's the case, that's shaping up amazingly for them. Now, Kraken Cove is now on match point here, and this is shaping up to be like something really good for them here. Going back to tower control, Sturgeon. Now, you saw what happened with Georgia took control of tower control on game 3, able to use that to get back into the set here. Wondering if that's going to be what they want here as well, especially because now I think looking at the players now, I think Georgia has opted to swap out Luxatone again. I think we might be seeing Crunchy come back in, and if that's the case, that's gonna be fun because yeah, Crunchy does come back in here. Gonna have this opportunity to see, I think, the 52 once again, unless they are gonna be seeing maybe some more weapon changes. But here, it's do or die now for UGA. Meanwhile, for Kraken Cove, they're one game away from punching their ticket into semis here.
Yeah, definitely. This is their ticket, indeed, for getting into Division 4's semifinals, right? And it seems like I'm looking a little bit at the feed right now, and like how the game is are shaping out right now. On the other sides of Division 4, I see Grisco Gators versus Champlain Seafoam already at match point as well here, Spicy. So we might have multiple Division 4 semifinalists confirmed by the end of this set here. So it's gonna be very, very exciting to see how these teams are going to be able to shape out, push through immediately, and get all this going through here.
Yes, and there's also some other matches that happened recently. I think the winner of this plays WPI as well. So that's gonna be fun to see, considering the matchup history with some of these teams around now. So, looking at this, gonna have a chance to go back into tower control. Just finalize those comps really from both sides. I think from the end of Kraken Cove, we're probably gonna see a lot of the same thing here. But for UGA, knowing that this might be the last comp of their season at this point, it's going to be really important to see the last decisions being made here as we get a chance to look into these opening comps as we go into game number 8 of this set.
Game number 8 here. I think this is the furthest I have seen a playoff match go all the way through so far this season. So regardless, this is a record here, you know, establishing how just because it's playoffs doesn't mean these matches are going to end up 5-0 immediately. These teams are going to be pushed to their limits here at the very end here, as already it's going to be a bloodbath in mid. HTC seems to be able to take down one of the members of Kraken Cove, and it's already Crunchy back here on the 52 here. Very interesting weapon pick as well, Spicy.
I think that's an interesting weapon pick as well. Yeah, being able to have that there. And now we see that UGA Red decides to take the tower now, start to push their way up there. I think this is one of the few times we've seen them take an early lead. You haven't seen a lot of that. We've seen them play from behind a few times now. Already at that first checkpoint, and this is looking very good for them here. Taking down at least one member, taking down the shot of Kraken Cove. Now trying to see what they're going to be able to do here. Crunchy does go down instead, being splatted by the machine. And now approaching the end of this first minute, Georgia has taken the tower to the 59. Meanwhile, Kraken Cove looking to make their first opening push, putting 2 down in the process as well. And now being able to take the tower much further, though. The bubble is now on tower, leading to an eventual push here. Gotta see how much farther Georgia's gonna be able to push this tower.
Yeah, definitely. Georgia is looking for an opportunity to go up here, but Embers is gonna pull off the squid roll, cancel it with the squid roll of all things, and manages to get to. That is some fancy footwork there, and showing a seasoned player if they are knowing how to cancel their movement text and know exactly how they want to move throughout the map and get the picks that they want there, Spicy.
Yeah, I think that's insane. You love to see the movement really flourish in this game, and when you have things like that happen, that's an immediate highlight. But that's a wipe in favor of Kraken Cove, as all of the members of UGA have gone down. Now the tower is in favor of Kraken Cove, but they still have to march their way back into mid and then move their way over onto this side of their map. Finally getting a push of their own though, making it happen, and then not gonna be able to find these picks, extra picks, and this is looking really good for Kraken Cove, as they have the core online as well. 2 down on the side of UGA as well. And this tower is going to keep moving past the first checkpoint. And they're going to see how much farther they're going to be able to hold this on as UGA is trying to make another defensive stand here as 2 members go down. Once again, absolute bloodbath so far.
Oh my goodness. A bloodbath might be the understatement of the year here, Spicy. Trade for trade, blow for blow, special for special. Everything is being popped here, and Kraken Cove is going to be able to take that lead right now, take it down to 30. Multiple members of are falling down here. This might be George's last legs as a wipeout here happens, Spicy.
That white might be it. You're watching the counter go down, as it's gonna be it. Kraken Cove has survived, made their comeback, and punched their ticket into semifinals with a 5-3 win here in this set.
Yeah, definitely. That was just amazing, explosive push from Kraken Cove here. Just amazing getting here. Yeah, it was just fantastic, Spicy. I just can't believe just how quickly that snowballed out of control there.
Yeah, you really just saw the momentum. Once Kraken Cove got that, they just didn't look back. I thought UGA, after their first pushes, getting an early lead and getting some good moments there, I thought they were going to be able to just keep going there. But no, that's really where tower control shines as a mode, where that if you get that comeback, get that chance to get the momentum, you get those snowball moments. And that's exactly what happened for Kraken Cove. Very well-deserved win for their end, getting the chance to keep their season going, get a chance to play in semis. Meanwhile, for Georgia, while their season has ended, it's by no means anything to look down on here. Amazing work from them today, and honestly, a very good season for them, even just making it into playoffs.
Yeah, definitely, Spicy. And you know what? That was just such a fantastic game here. But unfortunately, we do have to get going. There is more Splatoon to be had later on tonight. And before then, before we get going, Spicy, where could the fine people of Twitch.tv find you? Actually, no, wait, it's not Twitch.tv. It's YouTube.com this time around here, Spicy.
Oh, yeah, you can all find me on twitch.tv/spicy_bm, on Twitter at 2spicybm, or I guess on YouTube at spicybm, I think. Well, because yeah, gotta give a shout out to the YouTube audience. Thank you guys for watching. Meanwhile, Neptune, where can the good people find you?
Oh yeah, you can find me also on Twitch and YouTube and Twitter. All those places that start with a T here, including production. Yeah, I'm sure that's how it works, right? I passed first grade spelling here, but hey, you guys can find me out a little bit with Neptune _ It's a 2 instead of a TU and an underscore at the end here. I am going to be commentating another match here shortly, so we're not going to be able to have the play all 9 here, but fantastic job to both teams here as we're going to be wrapping it up here. Again, 5-3 from Kraken Cove's side as well, so fantastic job to both teams as we're going to be wrapping up right here, right now. Stay tuned on CCA Twitch as well as Splatoon Tourney for more CCA Splatoon action.